So one last time here on the red sofa at Finished Vehicle Logistics North America in Huntington Beach. What a couple of great days it's been, going back to Tuesday with the KHS-sponsored golf, where our delegates had a beautiful day out on the links, really enjoying the opportunity to connect OEMs, carriers, providers, moving right through to our cold and windy, but nevertheless bright and warm with networking. Jack Cooper-sponsored cocktail reception on Tuesday, which really set the scene for the energy and discussions that were going to come ahead throughout the event. And, it was really jam-packed from morning till afternoon with the major OEMs, General Motors, Ford, Stellantis, Mercedes-Benz, Nissan, Volkswagen Group, as well as new players like Lucid coming in to share insights with us, and the major providers, of course. The big topics came to the fore, whether it was Nick Thompson from Stellantis talking about shortage of capacity, issues in Mexico, whether it was J.S. Bolton from Nissan, looking at new ways to optimize the network, really put the emphasis on design, finding new solutions, not just doing things the way they've always been done for 30 years. In Nissan's case, changing the way that they contract carriers to be based out of clusters as opposed to states. Right through to what General Motors' Anthony Clevio told us about, shipping more out of Mexico to avoid rail issues, as well as looking at new distribution models for electric vehicles, EV fulfillment centers that would hold stock for dealers, for example, new approaches that we're starting to see come right into action. And then today, Thursday, the last day of the event, we focused less on some of the capacity issues and lead time issues and more on, I'd say, topics like sustainability and digitalization. We heard from the Secretary of Transportation, Tox Ashikun here in California, really about the transition California is leading to decarbonize its transport ahead of many other parts of the country, not just the country, really the world, with the freight industry playing a leading example of that. Just one example is the goal to have zero-emission trucking out of the ports by 2035. A lot of investment will go into that. And we saw direct examples of what that would take. So Nissan's Steve Jernigan and Hyundai Glovis' Charles Franklin, Glovis America's Charles Franklin told us about the use of electric trucks and fuel cell trucks, trials which are beginning, and all of the stakeholders that are involved in making that happen, building an entirely new ecosystem, new partners. It's going to take a lot of time. As Steve Jernigan said, it's really hard. Can't just do it overnight, but you got to start somewhere. And the point of these trials and pilots is that we're going to get a lot of data and learnings from it and figure out how we go ahead. Really interesting discussions then to finish the day on digitalization, on tools used to improve damage and claim systems, like we heard from Ford, or how Volkswagen is working together with software providers to better predict lead times. And finally, in our last session, Ron Stach from Lucid, who's worked recently at EV makers as well as major OEMs in the past, now just starting at Lucid, gave a sense of the role that vehicle processing and quality management will play for EVs. So, for example, in being able to show state of charge across a whole fleet, across a whole yard, in having the right state of charge to enable OTA software updates, which depend on different levels of higher levels of charge than perhaps are used on shipping. New ways of thinking, and in fact, software-defined ways of thinking for OEMs. Certainly, the new electric vehicle OEMs, but indeed legacy OEMs as they build more electric vehicles. A paradigm shift, really across many aspects of this industry. That's what we continue to see in finished vehicle logistics. That's what we're very excited to cover at Finished Vehicle Logistics North America. It's not the same conversation year in, year out, day in, day out. That's why we bring you this content 365 days, 360 degrees in our print magazine, on our website, at our events, in our broadcasts, here on LinkedIn, YouTube. So keep up with everything. We're trying to bring you the latest from the industry, and that's exactly what you'll get when you keep up. We hope to see many of you in Detroit for Automotive Logistics and Supply Chain Global. And next year, back in Huntington Beach, May 21st to 23rd, Finished Vehicle Logistics North America 2024. It's already set in the diary, so don't miss it. It's going to be a totally different set of conversations, but definitely continuing on the road we started the last couple of days. So thanks again, everyone. It was great to have you with us.